Go now, it's done properly. Let's see what this McLaren can produce here. Will he be able to out-qualify his teammate on the medium compound tyres? Which he does. He goes 5th. Very good lap there on the medium compound. We have all 3 medium compounds are within the top 5. So that is very impressive from you guys there. Very impressive. As we go on board now with the other McLaren driver, will he be able to reclaim bragging rights over his teammate, Sim Racing, right now? He goes a little bit wide there. He probably did not want that at all. That was not ideal for the McLaren driver here. True Billy. Nevertheless. Oh, I've just missed out. I'm so sorry. Brindy Boy has set the pole. I've completely missed that. So, well done there to Brindy Boy, who did get the 1 minute 8 after I just said, I don't think anyone will be able to get it. But he does it this time on the soft compound tyre rather than the mediums. So he's gone for a different strategy compared to last week. So, who knows? Who knows what he's got in mind for this race? As I think that's all the drivers now. No one else will qualify. So that is it. I do believe. I don't want to be mistaken here and make a mistake, but I do believe if they've either finished or they're in the pits. So I believe that is everything. So there you have it. Our pole sitter for 2 weeks in a row. Brindy Boy in the Renault, an extremely quick driver here in Canada, and I'm sure he'll be quick in many other circuits too. But he has proven his dominance here in Canada once again. So here's your top 12, your full 12 for the Canadian round 1 here for tier 2 drivers. All the nerves here will be building up between these 12 drivers, as they'll be wanting their best start here in Canada, the opening round of their mini season. We have the new game that will be released very soon, which will be starting a whole new championship. But nevertheless, let's concentrate on this race now, as we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. And they're away here in Canada for round 1, as the Renault has a great start there. Secures off the previous drivers behind, and we have the Alfa Romeo actually making a move on the Alfa, retaining his place. Oh, and we have a big pile up there. We have the Williams, and I think that was a Renault there. Hein and Carl Duncan are out of this race. That is so unfortunate. So unfortunate. That was not the start that we was looking for here in Canada for round 1. Drivers are now bunched up. Brindy Boy sets the pace as we go underway here. Again, lap 4 for the mini series. Tier 2 drivers are now underway once again after the safety car comes in. Are we going to see any overtakes early on into this lap? Or will the drivers plan their overtakes a little bit better than they have been up until now? As the Alfa Romeo now is getting very close to the Alfa Romeo, and the housemate collision with the wall there. There was contact. I'm not too sure if he had lost any of his front wing there or not, but nevertheless he must continue. The drivers are now flying through Canada, but it's still very early on in the race and anything could happen. Oh, and there's a spin there from the Ferrari driver Stevie JD, who may have been self-inflicted, or it may have been an incident I didn't quite get to see. But Tube Billy thinks, thank you very much, I shall take that position. Very nicely done there. The Ferrari driver could pick a warning for that, but he was definitely probably missing some front wing there, or lots of understeer. As we see the two cars battling ahead of Major Alex here. Will Major Alex be able to pick up a position here? And the Tube Billy, oh my gosh, and then they make contact. They make contact. That was not planned out well, just missing out on Water Champions there. That was not good at all, but Major Alex does pick up the positions there and says thank you very much. I will benefit off of that, off of your mistakes, and now he will be looking to try and make a gap on Tube Billy. Billy in the slipstream now. As Major Alex locks up and he goes extremely wide there. And McLaren makes a very simple overtake there. Not much effort put into that overtake at all. It was just keeping to the racing line. Stevie JD picks up a 3-second penalty. And Major Alex just plows through the back of the McLaren there. And that is another DNF. And Billy also picks up a penalty for that, which is a little bit unfair. But nevertheless, we must continue. Such a shame though to be losing out on so many drivers. They've now started to see rain. They may have wanted to hold on to them slots for a little bit longer, possibly on the intermediates, but I mean, I'm no expert. Brindy Boy knows what they're doing after an incredible race here last week. Do they know something that I don't know? I don't have access to the weather forecasts currently. Only the drivers do. So I'm currently, as we have the Alfa Romeo, the current leader who has just pitted. What tyres will we see him pit here? Into the pits they come, and they see the green wall tyres, which will be the intermediates. As we also have Sim Racing, and we have the McLaren's double stacking, which is not ideal for the McLaren team at all, especially for Billy, who has hugely missed out there, has been getting so much more unluck than the majority of these drivers in this race. Multiple penalties, and which they're serving the penalties now. So that is not ideal. Double stacking, double penalty. But he's been put on to the intermediate tyres. And we have Riceman, who has just been awarded a 3-second penalty there for multiple warnings. As Brindy Boy comes in, their strategy did not pay off, but the Red Bull spins and wipes out both drivers. Mighty Duck and Stevie J. That is so unfortunate, as we have a bunch of drivers here in the pits, but we have Riceman, who pitted at the perfect time, who is now leading the race. That is not good at all for the Red Bull there. Oh dear, and we have Stevie J retiring due to that, which this Canadian Grand Prix is going a bit tits up, I must say. As we have another accident. Oh dear. These rainy conditions, I guess the drivers can't handle with everyone going off. It's quite a shame, to be honest, because the taste around these drivers drove an incredible race. We had very few DNFs. I think we might have one, maybe 2 DNFs. But this time is a complete different turn of events, which is not ideal at all. But we've got all the drivers now in the intermediates. You can just see how slippery it's getting here for the drivers. Billy, back end is all over the place, oversteering here in the wet. But I camera alongside, and the McLaren thinks better of it and lets the Haas driver through very fairly there, very clean driving. That's not to say that they're giving up. They will just be considering their options, I think, as they go very wide there. We did a little bit of off-roading through the grass, but nevertheless, they continue there. No damage or corner cutting taken. But Riceman, currently our race leader, is extending that gap even further now. There's now 10.5 seconds ahead. And you can't even see his competitors in the background on the screen. He's that far ahead. But he's just also just picked up a 3-second time penalty. So that will be interesting at the end. I'm not sure how many penalties he's picked up already. I can't see how many penalties in total. But you never know. It could throw a spanner in the works at the end. Once they will cross the line and the penalties are applied. But this is like Canada 2011 all over again. Oh, and we have a yellow flag. Two Billies retired, and I missed that. That is very unfortunate, but the safety car has now come out, so it will bunch of drivers up once again. We're down to the last 5 drivers here in Canada, which is took a turn for the worst, if I'm honest. Who's to put his foot on the accelerator and pull away from the rest of the pack. If I go on board with, to be fair, with all the spray you can't really see from 5th place, but nevertheless, they are back underway now. All pretty clean so far. As with the McLaren, looking at the Williams, wanting to take that 3rd position, which he does round. A very nice move there. A very clean move there from the McLaren driver, Sim Racing. Does it in great style. The Brady boy will be hunting down the Alfa Romeo driver here. You can just tell how quick he is and how much work he's putting into this car. Will we see a change for the lead here in Montreal? As Ikalma has made a move up the inside of the Williams. Just about caught that, but not quite. As we have Brindy Boy, who's all up the backside here of the Rice Man. There's already a huge gap between the 2 front runners and 3rd place. And we've not even completed a full lap since the safety car has gone in. You just tell how quick these 2 drivers are. But Brindy Boy will be pushing now. Pushing so hard that he just picked up another penalty. There, a 3-second penalty for corner cutting. Here we have these 3 drivers. Very close here. We'll be choosing their overtaking opportunities right here. After watching a few of their fellow racers not do quite that. Ikalma just picked up a 3-second penalty as well for corner cutting again, I presume. But he's giving it everything right now. He'll be wanting to get on the podium here and knock Sim Racing off of the podium. Will we see any overtake? As here we have the 2 front runners who are very close to each other now. Will Brindy Boy make an overtake here into turn 1? And he looks around the outside of Riceman. Will we see an overtake? Very clean in for the drivers. Oh, there's contact. And that is a front end plate from the Renault driver, but that is not ideal for him. That is an end plate gone. That's the last thing you want to be missing in these treacherous rain conditions. It's so hard, though, to be able to go alongside drivers round corners without making contact in these sort of conditions. But nevertheless, I mean, there's an end plate missing, but at least new drivers spun out. That wouldn't be ideal. As we have Ikalma now, who will be looking for his chance at the podium here in the McLaren, who's right up his gearbox. Will we see an overtake here? He plays his chances right. We could very well see an overtake. Yeah, the 2 drivers go down Casino Straight here in Canada. Will we see an overtake? Or an overtaking opportunity like Brindy Boy tried to do on the previous lap? We will see. Does he get as good of an exit though? As we go on board with him. And you can see how much quicker the Haas is here. But Sim Racing, and they do make a little bit of contact there. But nevertheless, no problems was caused there. There's minor contact, to be honest. A little bump, just to let them know they're there. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, a Sim Racing messes up his exit there, and the clip causes the Haas to spin. That is not ideal for the iCalma, who was driving a very good race there. But it's all happening here in Canada. All drivers are struggling here really, really bad. See how wet it is there. Barely able to keep traction here. PG Newsom. As I imagine this would happen, Brindy Boy has now pitted to replace his wing. There's a lot of wing damage there, look. That was essential to make the pit. As PG Newsom is now on a podium position in 3rd place. They will be wanting to play slow and steady wins the race here. And they will be wanting to make it to the end. Claim this 3rd position. You never know. There could be problems up ahead, which could throw another spanner in the works here in Canada. Who knows? We're coming towards the end of the Canadian Grand Prix here. And the rain does not look like it's going to be easing off anytime soon. So I feel like we will be seeing rain for the majority, I should say the rest of the race. Incredibly fast driver. A league of their own, I must say. But you can't take it away from Rice Man, who's driven an incredible race here and has done everything right, whereas Brindy Boy has come across a few obstacles in this Canadian Grand Prix, which has resulted in a current 4th place, having to pit with a damaged front wing. Nevertheless, their race is far from over yet, as we see them within a second now of the Williams driver. When will we see an overtake, or will we see an overtake here in the last few laps of this Canadian Grand Prix? But Brindy Boy's picked up another 3-second penalty for overdriving right now. And we've got to bear in mind that PG Newsom, I don't think, has picked up as many penalties, if I'm not mistaken. So PG Newsom wants to just be keeping within the white lines now. And if Brindy Boy does get past, he'll be wanting to just stick to the back of him, as they won't know that the penalties at the moment, to be honest. So PG Newsom will probably be wanting to just keep this 3rd. As Brindy Boy will be wanting to make this overtake much cleaner than the one he tried to do on the driver previously, which he does very nicely around the outside there. Very, very nicely done. Clean done for both drivers. No problems there whatsoever. But here we go. Putting all the pressure down the McLaren. You can just see the time they're gaming over this McLaren with this freshest set of intermediate tyres. Where are we going to see this overtake from the Renault driver? Sim Racing will not like the look of this Renault driver in his rear view mirrors. As they go for the overtake there very cleanly. I did not expect that when the McLaren backed off so early there. I honestly thought that was going to be an incident, but that lunge paid off for the Renault driver. I'm very shocked, to say the least, how that played out there. But I'm clearly mistaken how good Brindy Boy actually is. A driver his caliber could clearly take on any overtaking opportunity. And PG Newsom has picked up a 3-second penalty as well as Brindy Boy there. So there's just more and more penalties left, right and centre here. I don't know how this will end up. I think Riceman should be able to keep the lead, but it's anyone's game here for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, because numerous penalties. It could be anyone's podium right now. But we won't know until they cross the line. But an incredible drive here from Riceman, who takes the round 1 right in Canada. An incredible drive there. Not much to fault him at all. So incredibly well done there. But we have Brindley Boy, who will be going through Wall of Champions here for the last time here in Canada. And they cross the line. But Sim Racers just picked up another penalty on the final lap there, which is not ideal. Will we see any changes here from our top three, which we don't? So Brindley Boy takes second place. Oh no, he doesn't. PG Newsom takes second place after a very clean drive with minimal penalties, ensures them to get that second place, and that is exactly what you like to see. A clean drive and a good result like that. Mistakes from other drivers, and then it all pays off for you. So well done there to PG Newsom. But nevertheless, we will see you next week for round 2. It would be the exact same here. Same times on Tuesday. We will be heading to Austria next week. But yeah, nevertheless, well done to the drivers. And I will see you next week. Oh.